Okay. This is our video of our granny. And it's December the 8th or 9th, 2012. On a Saturday. So, and I'm interviewing Granny. So we'll have some things on video of her life and some of her experiences she's had, and maybe even learn how to make fried apple pies. All right, Granny, what is your full name?
My full name is Bertie Pauline Parker Abernathy.
Bertie Pauline.
Bertie Pauline.
Okay, and when were you born?
I was born in 1918 in Union County.
All right. What was your mom and daddy's name?
My mother's name was Myrtle, and my daddy's name was Bert
Parker.
Parker.
So how many sisters and brothers did you have?
And, well, let's say this. I had 2 brothers and 5 sisters, but my baby sister died. My mother died when my baby sister was born, and I was 11 years old.
You were 11 years old.
Yeah, when mother passed away.
You were the oldest one.
I was the oldest.
So tell me.
I was the oldest, and then Frank was next, and then Willie Ruth, and then Herman, and then Mabel, Ellen, and Myrtle. She was named after my mother.
Was that after, was she already named after your mama passed away, or
my dad named her Myrtle Brown after my mother. Her mother died when she was born.
But did your mama know that her name was Myrtle? Did your mama know that that baby's name was going to be Myrtle?
No, she didn't.
Oh, she didn't?
No, because nobody expected her to die, really. She died with
She hemorrhaged.
hemorrhaged.
So what happened after that? What was your life like after that?
After that, of course, some of the children were too young to stay at home, but Aunt Jenny Fincher took the baby, which was Myrtle, and she was only 12 hours old when she took her. And Aunt Des and Uncle Will Helms took Mabel and Ellen, and Daddy kept the 4 oldest ones at home. And we grew up on the big old farm in Union County.
Was y'all at Newtown Road?
On Newtown Road.
Was it the old house or the other?
The old house. We lived in the old house that was tore down.
Okay.
And
but across the street from where you were, was there another house there, or was that a barn?
that was a barn.
Oh, okay.
It was a barn there.
What did y'all use that barn for?
Hay for the cattle. Dad raised cattle, and we had mules at the farm. They done most of the farming with mules and plows. It didn't have tractors.
Mm-hmm.
Not when I was, when we first started.
Was all that? Is that what he farmed and everything? Is that all that acreage right there on that right hand side before you get down to the house or the bridge?
Yeah. Well, there was some over on the left hand side, but that was pasture. Where the barn is, there was a big area back there, but it was in pasture.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and let's see. Times were hard.
Well, now you were born. What year were you born in?
1918.
1918. Okay, that was in the Titanic sank.
Yeah. And
did you go through the Depression? That was the 1920s. Or Is that
well,
right?
it was bad. I mean, back when I was in school and all, times were bad. But we had it pretty good because Dad raised wheat. There was a mill over at the Mill Springs, and they grind the wheat and make flour. They grind corn and made the cornmeal.
So y'all would y'all go out and pick that? I mean, how do you do wheat? How do you do that?
Do what?
I mean, do you go in? How do you get it together? How do you? How did y'all work that up?
Combiners had like a combiner that
So they had something like that back then, not like they got now.
cut the wheat. It was small, nothing like there is now.
Right.
But anyway,
Did y'all do that, or did y'all have to pay somebody to do that?
Dad did it. He drove the little thing and did it. And we grew cattle, so we had our own beef.
Mm-hmm.
We raised hogs. We had our own meat.
Did y'all do the slaughtering yourself?
The hogs they did, and on the cows they took them to Mill Springs, and they slaughtered them, cut them up, packaged it.
Right.
Put it in freezers over there. Then when you wanted some, you went over there and got what you wanted out of the freezer.
Oh, from over there?
Yeah, from over there.
Oh, okay. Did they charge you, do you remember how much they charged to slaughter a cow?
No.
You don't remember that? I don't even know how much it would be now, but...
No, they was...
Did they charge you to keep the meat there?
You pay a certain... wasn't much, but you pay some. But now what they did for slaughtering the cow and cutting her up and all, they kept some of the meat for themselves, and the rest went in the freezer.
Oh.
So it was actually no cost to us for them to slaughter it, but we did have to pay a small fee for the freezer.
Oh, gotcha.
To keep it, yeah. And then back, Daddy planted, we planted irish potatoes, sweet potatoes, which when they harvest them, they put away for winter. Onions, we never bought onions. We had little white multiply onions. We had plenty of those. And in the garden, beside the sweet potatoes and irish potatoes, he would plant peas and pinto beans.
And green beans?
Green beans, which we canned.
Did y'all do corn?
Tomatoes and corn and stuff like that. We canned all that.
So y'all had a lot of canning.
Yeah.
Y'all canned a lot.
Yeah. We would can, about 150 jars. It was mostly half-gallon jars every year. He does butter beans.
Right.
Okra.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
So in the middle of all that, and your mama died, and you were 11, you pretty much had to do everything.
I was...
You were the head of the household.
We might say head of the house.
Was Grandpa Bert working?
Just on the farm.
So he was working the farm and you stayed at home.
Well, I went to the field and worked too, but I would go to the field and work until about 11 o'clock, and I'd go to the house and fix lunch, which would be something light. And we would all come up and eat, and then we'd rest for about an hour and go back to the field. And then about 5 o'clock, I would quit and go to the house, put a cake of cornbread in the stove, and had cornbread and milk for supper.
Yeah. Not every night. Not every night.
No, not every night, but a lot of nights.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of nights.
Now you would have been in school. And there was an old lady that helped you.
I know colored lady. She was just as sweet as she could be. And after, well, it seemed to me like the load got a little heavier, having to wash and iron instead of iron with a flat iron and all, with the clothes. It wasn't like it is now. People ironed their clothes.
Yeah.
About everything was ironed.
Yeah.
And so I was determined I was going to quit school. And this old colored lady said, "No, child, you're not. You're not. I'm going to help you. You're not stopping out of school." But in the meantime, before I finished, well, I think I was in about the 7th grade, I think. And Herman, my baby brother, got real sick, and we almost lost him. And when he came home from the hospital, I stayed home with him, and one whole year I stayed out because he couldn't go to school, and that threw me back.
Mm-hmm.
So I graduated in 1939. And,
So did you play sports?
I played basketball and loved it.
What position did you play?
I was a forward.
Yeah.
I played forward. And I also played softball in school.
But your favorite was basketball?
My basketball was my thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I like basketball.
Now what year, back then, Wesley Chapel was it kindergarten through 12 like it is now? I mean.
No, it was just 1st through 11.
So it was 1 through 11.
Uh-huh.
But it was just the one school.
Yeah.
There wasn't a middle school or a high school. It was just Wesley. What was the name of was it just Wesley Chapel School?
Wesley Chapel School, yeah.
Okay.
And it wasn't called high school or anything. It was just Wesley Chapel School.
So what grade were you in when you were Miss Wesley Chapel?
1939, the year that I finished school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what happened? Okay, so Frank, did he go to the war?
Frank was in the Marines, yeah, and he was wounded on Guam, and he came home. No, he was first wounded. He's been wounded twice. He was first wounded when what they called the sneak on Pearl Harbor.
Mm-hmm.
But he was wounded there, and stayed in the hospital over there for 3 months, I believe it was. And then he came back to the States, and he had a 6-week leave when he came home. And when he went back, they sent him to Guam, and he was wounded the second time over there. And when he came back from that, he came out of service. And Herman was turned down for service. They were going to draft him, and when they went and examined him and everything, they turned him down. So he never went in service.
Right.
Yeah.
So when did you meet Grandpa?
I met Grandpa in 1939, the year I graduated from high school.
Tell me how you met him. Were you out with your friends? I mean, what did y'all...
No. His brother was married to one of my first cousins, and I met through them.
His brother, which one?
Charles.
Charles was married...
Charles was married to Mary. which was my first cousin.
Oh.
And,
Okay.
and then he came down to the house with them one Sunday, and we met. And from then on, it was just off and on.
Did he ask you out when he first met you?
Yes, he did.
Did he?
Yes.
So,
But we didn't go out.
why not?
I didn't go.
Why?
God wanted to know him better before.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, gotcha. So what, I mean, would he come over to the house and see you?
Yeah, he'd come to the house, yeah.
And then sooner or later, you let him take you out.
Yeah.
What was do you remember your first date with him?
First date with him. No, I don't remember. I guess it was in probably 1940.
But do you remember, but you don't remember what y'all did on your first date?
No.
You don't remember that?
No.
When did
Oh,
y'all?
we did all right on my first day. We went and we went somewhere and ate and went to a movie. And the name of the movie was Gone with the Wind.
Oh, are you serious?
That's right.
That's cool.
Yeah. That was the first time. No, I wasn't going to go out with him the first time he asked me because I didn't know him that well.
Right.
You know.
But he hung around and then you finally gave in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and then after we had been married just about a year, and he was called into service.
Was he drafted?
Yeah. Yeah, he was drafted into service, and he was in service for 3 years, and after he came back, we had Peggy, and then
When was she born? So what year did you get married?
we got married in 1942.
1942. And then he was
Well,
gone.
I believe 42. I'm not sure.
Right.
39. Maybe it was 40. In 1940 when we got married. And she was born after he got out of service. And then we had always said we wanted 4 children. It never happened.
You only had 2.
We only had 2.
Why did you not have 2 more?
It just didn't happen.
It just didn't happen.
It just didn't happen. We didn't try not to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no, we didn't try not to.
Oh, okay. It just didn't happen.
It just didn't happen.
So you had Aunt Peggy, and then you had Peggy, and then you had Roger.
Right. And then they come along and got married. I don't know what year they got married in. But Peggy married Ralph Carnes and had Carol and Brian. And her and Ralph separated when Brian was little. I don't know just how old he was. But anyway, she had met Terry overseas. And after her and Ralph separated, her and Terry started corresponding with each other. And then he moved down here.
Yeah, because he was from Maine.
Yeah.
He was in Maine.
And they got married. And then TJ came along. Well, your daddy got married. And I don't remember what year they got married. But anyway, there they come along and had the 3. Sharon, you, and Bob.
And that's the way it was for a while.
Yeah.
That's the way it was for a while. So did Grandma? But where did you and Grandpa live when y'all got married?
Where do we live?
Y'all didn't live in the house on Newtown, did you?
I was, when we got married, I stayed home with Dad on Newtown Road.
Oh, okay.
And then when he came back, we moved to Sunset Road in Charlotte with his mother and daddy. They insisted that we come and stay there with them. So we stayed there until, Peggy was back 6 months old, I guess. And we moved back down here, and Bud helped on the farm.
Oh, okay.
Until he went to work with Mecklenburg County Schools.
Okay. Was that when he started working on the house, building the house?
Yeah.
Was when he was working there?
Yeah.
Cool. Is that when you were living with Grandma? I guess it would be my great grandma Abernathy.
We were living down here when she passed away.
But when you were living with her, is that where you learned how to make those chiffon pies?
No.
No?
No, I learned to make those chiffon pies from his aunt.
Oh, okay.
Aunt Florence Wallace, an aunt of his. She came down to the house one weekend to spend the weekend with us. It was nothing unusual for Aunt Florence or Grandma Minnie to come down and spend the weekend with us. So she was down there one weekend, and we had fresh strawberries. And she said, "Do you mind if I make a pie?" And I said, "No, not at all." And she said, "I see you got some round crackers in there." And I said, "Yes." "Mind if I use that?" And I said, "No." So she used that, rolled them out with a rolling pin, put butter on it. I don't know how much, whether she measured it or what. But anyway, she put those strawberries on the stove with some sugar on them. I don't know how much she put in, because I just judge what I want to put in when I make them.
Right.
But anyway, she put the sugar and strawberries on the stove, brought them for, emptied a pack of strawberry jello into that, set it over, let it cool, and then she took a can of carnation milk that she had put in the freezer or refrigerator, got it real cold, and whipped it up like whipped cream and beat it into
the strawberry mix.
And then put it into the press
popcorn.
and set it in the refrigerator. And in about an hour it was ready to eat.
So that's pretty easy.
Yeah, that was easy. And I learned to make the little apple pies from Aunt Jenny Fincher. She would make her bread just like she's going to make a biscuit.
Mm-hmm.
The dough.
And that's just regular all-purpose flour with a little bit of buttermilk.
It was self-rising. She used to always use self-rising flour.
So self-rising and a little bit of buttermilk. Do you use buttermilk?
Yeah, she just made it like she was going to make a biscuit.
Yeah.
It was just buttermilk in it. And then she'd pinch off little pieces about like a biscuit. She'd roll it out, round.
Mm-hmm.
Then she'd put apples on half of it and bring the other half over and pinch around the edge of it.
Right.
To clump it in so the apples wouldn't come out. Put it in hot grease and fry them.
What kind of apples do you have to use to make them?
Just any kind.
Is there a better apple to use than any other?
Granny Smith is good, or
Okay.
a wine sap.
A wine sap or a Granny Smith. And all you do with that is cut them up,
Cook them.
cook them,
sweeten them.
Smash them up
Mm-hmm.
and put them in there.
Uh-huh.
So that's not real hard to do either.
No, that's easy. That's easy.
Do you remember how to make red velvet? The scratch red velvet?
I can't remember what all goes in it. But I didn't make it from scratch to start with.
Well, everybody knows how to make your chicken dumplings, I think.
Oh yeah, everybody knows how to make chicken dumplings. That's an easy thing. Everyone knows how to do that.
So tell me about when did you start having a really close relationship with God? How do you, tell me about your relationship with God.
Well, I always went to church at Siler off and on. Bob and Bliss Craig, which is Buddy's mother and daddy, lived just right beside us. And they went to Siler Church. And real often we would go with them to church. And so the year that I finished high school is the year that I decided I wanted to join the church and do what I could to better my life.
Right. How has having God in your life, what has it meant to you? With just everything that's through all your life, all the stuff that you've been through. Cause you wouldn't have made it without him.
No way. He's been by my side all the way. And I was very active, could do whatever I wanted to do until the early part of last December when I fell and got hurt. And I've just been going down ever since.
No, you ain't. But what do you miss the most?
What do I miss?
What do you miss the most out of your from your married life? Like when you were married before Grandpa died. Is there a particular season of your life that you remember and always look back to and smile about? Was it when the kids were little, or is it the grandkids?
It's the grandkids.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I always look forward to having grandchildren. I did.
What's the difference between having your kids and then your grandkids?
You know, your feelings for them is, I don't know.
I guess you just never know until you do it.
Right.
It's like with me, I never thought I could be a mama.
Uh-huh.
And that feeling is overwhelming.
Right.
And then when
That's how I was when the first grandchild come along.
Right, which was Carol.
That was Carol. And then she was only 6 months old when her and Peggy went to Germany and spent 2 years over there.
Oh.
And she had Brian while she was over there.
Right.
So.
Right. So let's see. Okay, so you got me. Well, we got Carol and then Brian TJ.
Yeah.
And then we've got Sharon, Becky, and Bobby.
Right.
And then out of those, we had Brian got married and had CJ, which is the first
grandchild.
Great-grandchild.
Great-grandchild.
Yeah, so that's the first great-grandchild. And then there was Thomas.
Yeah.
And then that was it for a little bit until
Jill and TJ's coming home.
Well, that was Parker.
Yeah, Parker.
Parker. Then Parker was born next.
Yeah, after Tom.
After Tom.
And then Anna
Yeah.
and Marta, Elijah, and Joshua.
So there's 4 there.
And then there was the twins,
Dylan and Dalton.
Dylan and Dalton, and Polly.
Polly.
Yeah, little Polly.
What's Polly? Why do you know why me and Scott called her Polly? Do you know who she's named after?
Yes, she's named after me, thank goodness. She'll always be my baby.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then we have Polly Poo, and then we have a great
grandchild.
great grandchild, which CJ
And her name is
Brooklyn, and she's a week old? Not even a week.
She's not a week old yet.
Yeah, she just had her. What? Tuesday?
Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday.
Tuesday. That's amazing. How old are you? How old are you?
How old am
94?
I? 94.
What do you miss since you fell?
What do I miss since I fell?
What's the most that you miss doing?
Getting out in the yard digging, working
Really?
with flowers and stuff like that. I really miss that.
Do you miss cooking?
Yeah, I miss cooking too. I love to cook. And I done a lot of it before I fell. So, that's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say?
No.
If there's anything that you could say to your kids, what would it be?
To my kids.
What would you, like, if you could say a couple of things just about advice, what would you pass on to your kids and to us grandkids? What would you say? Do you need to think about it?
Trust in God and take things one day at a time.
Yeah.
And everything else will come natural.
There ain't no use in stressing over nothing, is there?
And no.
Are you glad I'm doing this interview?
No.
You're not? Well, this is something that's going to be for everybody.
Well, that's
You know what I
fine.
mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just something I want to do, and I thought it was pretty cool.
And I just want to really thank the family, Roger and Barbara, Peggy and Terry, for taking care of me the way they are.
Yeah.
And
They're taking pretty good care of you.
oh yeah, yeah,
Do you like it up here? We are in the mountains.
yeah.
Do you like it here?
I'm very peaceful and quiet.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
'Cause I miss I miss being at home too, but I guess
You got the best of both worlds, really. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Do you miss Houston?
Yeah, tell me about Houston.
He's fine. He just had to go to the vet the other day, and he had some stomach issues, and he's on some medicine, and he's fine now.
Well, good,
Yeah, he's doing good.
good.
Good, yeah. So, oh, I know. What is your favorite color?
My purple.
Is it?
Orchid or light purple.
What is your favorite flower?
A rose.
What color of a rose?
Red.
A red rose?
Red rose
That's your favorite?
is my favorite. Of course, I like all flowers.
Right. But you like red roses.
And I love red roses. Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to end now until I have something else to add to the interview. We might pick this up later on. I might think of something else I want to ask you.